self-acceptance will be our challenge. That's pretty much always our challenge as we live as individuals, but I'm saying our challenge because I'm talking about the world. We are moving through a really dynamic change in our world that none of us have experienced. That's why it's so chaotic. That's why it feels a little uncomfortable for a lot of people. But what I've always said is that we're moving into a better place if we understand what is happening. It's not accidental that we're having wars, that we're having all this division and anger and hatred. We have to get rid of it. And that's what's going on. The universe has decided, wait a minute, we can create a better world if more people decide to love who they are, accept others, and move into the direction of who they're meant to be, meaning their authentic selves. But sometimes that is really challenging. It was really challenging for me because, see, we evolve in our consciousness, all of us. We don't do anything differently. And that consciousness is going to be different for each of us because we have different DNAs. But when we can't allow ourselves to accept and own who we are, we can't do that for others. And then we have conflict. And then we have wars because we think other people are better or worse than we are. And that's never true. And I started talking about this several years ago because I knew where our world would be moving. That is why I created my work. I created my programs. I changed my life because I said we need a lot more love in the world. We need people who can accept and own who they are and can give that permission to others, and then we stop killing each other. That's really what's going on. But I wanted to show something because there was a message that I wrote, I received, let's say, 2 years ago, and it was talking about the work that I'm doing about the your last development program. That's something, but it came out of a philosophy called your life operating instructions. That's something that I downloaded. That's been within me, something I've been developing for more than 35 years. It is what has healed my life and changed me and transformed everything. And it's done that for many others. But I doubted it too, because see, that self-acceptance, thinking that we had created something, that we could do something that came through us is really can be challenging at times, especially when it's new. And so in December of 2021, I was finally pushed enough to be able to do this, put it out there and see what would happen. And what happened was it changed lives. It was transforming lives. And you can see all of that. There are testimonials around where everyone is saying they didn't understand what was happening and this they'd never done anything like this before. Well, they couldn't have because it's brand new. What I downloaded was cosmic information that connects the individual to your soul, to who you are. Get moving beyond the blockages and the biases and judgments that exist within you. When more of us do that, we start seeing a very different world. But I want to show you the message that I received, that I wrote. I didn't share it the other day. A lot of times I will share messages that came through a few years ago because they will make sense. But I'll tell you what happened with this one. The message was here. Your life operating, November 8th, 2021, your life operating instruction. That is the title we gave Roger for the work we gave him in 2012. We have used that reference because we want each of you to know that you selected this time to be alive. So you might experience this massive restructuring to fulfill some element of your evolutionary contract. You planned this long ago. You do have that contract, and you have always had one, for you are an eternal being. You have had many lifetimes, and in many of them, you have had the same questions you are asking now, and you are attempting to figure out if you're in the right place. But the biggest question you are faced with now is, who am I? You are asking that question that because it is changing. You are experiencing more uncertainty, which can turn into anger, like you are witnessing in your world. And for many of you in your lives, sometimes it has felt inexplicable to you, and many of you, and many of what you want it to end. But you actually don't, because you have yet to complete what you set forth for this lifetime. We gave you a message almost a year ago that said self-discovery can be frightening. And we took Roger through more of that, and now we will explain. During one of our live talks, we said Roger has ancient memory. That statement shocked Roger, and he did not know what we meant. Last night, we had him examine the Mayan civilization, the genesis of the work we gave him. You have those connections as well, different from all others, and they are emerging now. We have also said our intent during the live talks is to help you move through your fear and doubt, which is why we are doing it in increments. You accepted a role, assignment, and desire before you were born, of which you have no vivid memory. But recently, more has been coming to the surface as it was meant to, and you will begin to understand and accept yourself more, and we will help. Roger didn't believe he could have received that work from us that would aid your world, just as you didn't think you possessed within you would make a difference in your life, let alone the world. Still, now we have had Roger to prove you wrong. And that was our mission all along, which is why we greet you with the words, we have waited for you all of your life. You will be fine. That was the message, and this is why I also started doing my channeling sessions. But I received that in November of 2021, and in December, I decided I was going to try this, and that's when I opened my program, 4 Weeks to Your Best Life, and it blew me away because people were transforming. And that is really what I'm doing now. I want people to experience the kind of healing that I have from this work. You see, I didn't do it myself. I received this information. It's all mindset work. It's all cosmic consciousness, and anyone can do it. But what we're moving through, and we're going to see more of it, as I said, is a time of stress where we're figuring out who am I, because it is changing and it changes in our consciousness. But this is also why I'm doing my work. I'm doing another channeling session on Monday. But on this date, when I read that message, there was also a channeling session that I did, and I just uploaded it again because I'd love everyone to hear it. And it was titled Now, Why We Still Have Wars. Because, see, that was the information I received during the channeling session, that we might have wars, and then they started. But it's all energy. When we understand that we have control of the energy that we place into the world, because it comes through us, and when we decide that we're going to place energy into the world of light and love, means loving ourselves. That's why we have to practice much more self-forgiveness. But please come to the channeling session. I'll leave the link so you can register, or you can get it on my Linktree. Thanks so much, you guys. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so and share it with others. My goal is to get as much information to as many people as I can. All right. See you soon.